just get started with an acknowledgement and I'll invite you if it's appropriate and it feels good for you to do and it's available. That where I live, work and play is located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish peoples of the Kikite First Nations. And I'm not going to do the same presentation style that I have in the past, but what I do want to just draw your attention to is that happy launch day, and we're using today in the next 30 minutes. I'm going to try really hard to stay to the 30 minutes, but I might go over. I could try talking a bit quicker, or I might skip through some things. But you've got the guide and everything's there in the guide. And that's for our members, have the guide there. And if you don't have the guide, if you email me afterwards, and my contact information will be at the end, or it's Rachel, Rachel, at lifecareerstudio.com. So if you email that, I am going to gift you all as a happy launch day gift, whether you're a paid member or not, to receive the session guide. And so this is the membership session guide that you'll be following along with. There's a lot of information here. I'll just give you a quick sneak peek, but we're not going to stay there. So that's what I'm going to invite you to refer to as we get settled. And I'll just checking and giving a couple of minutes. I would also want to honour the time for people who have arrived live and they're here so punctually. There will be recordings available. It's actually live on Facebook and YouTube right now. So if you're coming from those methods of technology, welcome. And the replay will be staying up there for this session as well. And so if you want to grab a pen and paper, or if you've got the guide and want to follow along with that, I am going to be going pretty fast, just setting some expectations of what to be expecting from the Intrada membership here. And I'm going to start off with some pillars. And Gallup does a report every year on employee engagement. And 80% of workers globally are disengaged in the work they do. I work to have people with the 20% of people who want to be engaged, and I used to be one of those disengaged. But my life mission statement is actually to flip that. I want 80% of people to be engaged. The gap is because not everybody is willing or wants to be happy, but my hunch is that you all want that for yourselves, and that's why you're here. So congratulations to you. Speaking of congratulations, I also wanted to say happy Women's Entrepreneurs Day, but happy Everyone's Entrepreneurs Day, that to offer that. And how exciting that this launch was supposed to happen a month ago and I just wasn't ready. So I took the advice of Rosa, who's my wonderful marketing support, and she said, why don't you push it? And it's landed on this beautiful day. And I'm not really into the planets and things like that. Like I kind of know enough to be dangerous, but it was also a full moon last night, and maybe someone knows what sort of moon it was, but just all that energy is with us, at the risk of sounding a bit woo-woo, but sometimes I can be woo-woo, so practical and woo-woo. So let me just quickly introduce myself for anyone tuning in who doesn't know me. My name is Rachel Newton. I'm an integrative career coach, and I am helping to cultivate meaningful and intentional community here with my Intrada membership. And so there are some tenets and you'll find this in your guide as well, but I just want to say it out loud here, that in order for this to be a meaningful community experience, I am creating that intentional community and lean in and invite the community wisdom. And sharing is caring is something I picked up at some point in the last 2 or 3 years, and I just love the sharing and caring that comes from that. So I invite you to share and show, however that is that you care and share for yourself and others. And also knowledge reciprocity. So I finally found the person who did the quote that I've been throwing around for the last little while. When one teaches, two or more learn. And that was by Robert Heinlein. And in our group scenario, when we're having the masterminds next week for my masterclass members and my mastermind members, then we're going to be, coming together and all teaching and learning from each other, which I'm so excited about. And ultimately, I want to help you uncover your career superpower. And when I was putting this document together, I came up with the idea of Entrada Power. So let's find out over the next while, as in our membership, what your Entrada Power is. So the SOPs, or standard operating procedures, that I want to offer to you is that as I guide you through this journey, I want to be in the mindset of servant leadership. So how can I serve you and guide you? And, I am committing to be, this is how I am one-on-one with my clients and in my groups, but I'm writing it down here that just to be authentic. And I think, those of you who know me have seen me with all my bumps and imperfections, but I'm also going to be agile and accountable. And I'll be explaining all of this when we come together as a group, but I'm just going to be moving through it really fast. So I'll invite you, whatever comes up for you when I'm offering this and what I'm saying, how that is for you and what that would be like. Do you have your own words of how you want to show up? I also want to be brave and bold and committed, consistent, curious, and challenging. So I am going to challenge you. And so this membership is not for the weak-hearted. And to expect the unexpected, because this is an ongoing organic process. And there's a little prompt in there inviting you as members to let me know how I can serve you. So I'll be inviting you to, if you want to jot that down or somewhere, and then we'll be talking about that next week as well. And what's the purpose? Why did I do this? It's just like, because I've got over a decade of knowledge and information, and when it's not in action, it's not being used, it's just literally sitting on a hard drive. And so I want to get that out in the world, and I want to share it. I also, my Achilles heel is that I need to have other people to push me, and oftentimes is my clients to push me to do things. I have lots of other people who push me too, and I put myself in the way of being pushed by them. But if I tell myself that I'm going to serve my clients, then I will put information out there. So that is a motivation for this. So I can offer you knowledge, but knowledge is no good if you don't do anything with it. And so this membership is not just for knowledge and community, but it's actually to take action and to implement and to do. And Rumi has a beautiful quote, let the beauty of what you love be what you do. And that's on my vision board that I wake up to and go to sleep, because it's right by my bed every day. It's in the middle of my vision board. In any case, that's just putting the action there. And then I did an Entrada manifesto. And I'm not sure if, I know there's a term for it, but I'm not sure if anybody picked up the first letter of each of these words. See if you can detect it. But the words that I'm going to offer you is energy, needs, team, respect, awareness, dreams, and awesome. And again, on their own, they might not mean a lot, but I will be explaining all this next week when we're together in our mastermind group. What's my success metric for you as members is that after each session, whether it's one of these masterclasses or a mastermind, that you are different, that you have taken something away, or maybe you've been reminded of something you forgot about yourself or that you heard along the way that is going to help you take action and be able to do that career reboot or whatever it is that you need in your career right now. So I want you to be better and different, because I don't know, for me, when I went into my pivot, my career reboot over a decade ago, I needed to fundamentally change in order for me to create transformation in my career. On the next page, you're actually going to see a poem by one of my one of the poets that I really love, David White. But I didn't realize when I was doing this that I was a bit tunnel visioned as I was putting all this together in the past week. And when I realized, even though it's on my social media and everything, and I knew it was there, I kind of forgot what day it was, about being Women's Entrepreneurs Day and People's Entrepreneurs Day. So I've chosen to actually, what I'd like to do is share with you one of my mentors from afar, and let's set the intention that one day she'll come and talk to us in this membership. So her name is Lisa Nichols, and I want to share some words with her that really resonate with me, and I hope that they'll resonate with you too. And I'll just get emojis if the sound is coming in okay when I'm sharing this. Where is my sharing going here? Okay, here we go. And if people can see that, if someone can drop in an emoji or a note in the chat to me, if people are seeing that. Is that on our visuals? Okay, thank you. Emojis are very helpful. Okay, so now I'm going to play this.
Wrapping my son in a towel.
Can you hear that?
For 2 days.
Okay, good.
I remember the second day, like you said, I had my hand on Jelani's stomach, and I said, "Don't worry, baby. Mommy will never be this broke or broken again." And that day, what shifted for me was I was willing, and I don't know if this is going to sound crazy, I was willing to completely die to any form of me that I had been, so that I can birth the woman that I was becoming. The reason why a lot of people won't become who they want is because they're too attached to who they've been. And you hear it all the time when people say, "I've always been this way." Okay, well, if that's working for you, keep doing that. I knew it wasn't working for me any longer. I had hit my version of rock bottom. So I was willing to let go of everything and everybody. See, another reason why people won't get there is because the doorway is for you to fit through. You're trying to carry everybody else through because you're trying to be Rescue 911. And you got to rescue you first. I am much more valuable to my family and to my community because I was willing to let them go through the door myself, teach myself, learn myself, condition myself, and then come back and get them. I'm much more valuable to them now. But I had to go through a window time of 10 years of judgment. You leaving us, hanging out with white people all the time. You going to these crazy countries. We don't know what you. I had to be willing to allow my conviction to make me inconvenienced. See, we want to grow, but we want to stay liked by everybody. I was willing to be my own rescue at the risk of your approval. But most of us aren't like that. Facebook is an example. We want to be liked. Well, I woke up and I like myself today, so your like is extra. My job is to like me first. I was willing to say every day, "Lisa, you like you? Lisa, are you proud of you? Lisa, are you playing full out?" Every day before I checked in with anybody else. I was willing to inconvenience my entire life. My entire life. I was willing to disrupt my entire life to buy my future, to buy my possibility, to give my dream a chance. See, we're not supposed to tuck our dreams in on the pillow when we get up in the morning. We're not supposed to leave them at home. We can go and fulfill somebody else's dream. We're not supposed to do that. That's not what we're wired to do. That's not who we are. Your human spirit doesn't care about the economy. The human spirit doesn't care that my son's father went to prison. The human spirit doesn't care what's happened to your family. The human spirit doesn't care about the past. You may have been molested, or your family may have been broke, or you may have been betrayed, or you may have a divorce. Your human spirit doesn't care about any of that. Your human spirit simply says, "What's our command for tomorrow? What do you want to?"
So I'll stop there, and you will receive that. I'll send that in an updated guide. But I just find Lisa to be so inspiring, and just her messages just so resonate with me. And at the front there, you saw her being interviewed by another mentor that I have a little bit more proximity with, Tom Bilyeu. So I've got lots of resources that I can share from his universe as well. In any case, I just wanted to share that with you and just invite you, if any of those messages are resonating, that they can help you carry through this experience as well. And I also have a list here of personal inquiry questions. And so those questions are to help you challenge yourself and work out where you are today, so that we can work out together where you're going to go and where you're going to ultimately end up. If any of you, so most of the people here, for people who haven't seen it, I just did a challenge last week and a series back in January, but we talked about a gap between where we are now and where we want to be. And so my hope is that these personal inquiry questions will help you fill that gap and start your journey. So the questions are, there's 6 of them here. And the first is, who am I today? Where am I today in my career? Where am I today in my life? Where am I in this process? What do I want for myself in relation to my career and my life? How do I need to be to achieve what I want? And how will I know I've achieved what I want from this process? They are not easy questions to answer, so take your time and do your best. And when we meet next week, we will be helping you look at those more deeply, or if you're feeling stuck on any of them, or maybe you've been able to think of your own questions that speak to the messages in that. In addition to that, I'd also invite you to look at my clarity tool that my members will have by now. And if you haven't, it's on my website for other people. And there's another assessment document, a coaching wheel that I'll be sharing with members as well. So it's just different ways for us to get to know and be really real about who we are today, so we can work out where we're going and set that up for ourselves. And so there is pages that are available in the guidebook there for you to really drill down, or maybe you want to take it offline and journal, or put it on your computer, or maybe you're a phone person, tablet, whatever way it is for you to record this. Perhaps even talk it out with someone, or get on some technology, talk it out and make a transcript if you've made a recording. I've also included Stop, which is a mindfulness and stress management tool that I learned about when I first started on this journey. I was working at the Crisis Center and learning about mindfulness, and Job Kabat-Zinn came up with this Stop. And so Stop is it's an acronym. So the S is stop. And so it's to help you notice and pay attention. And I put that here because there's going to be a lot of moments where paying attention and noticing throughout this process is going to be a helpful tool for you to downregulate. And if you're feeling a little bit dysregulated, because we're going to be talking about some challenging themes, I invite you to start with this quite simple tool of Stop. And so the S is to stop and pause. When you notice that something's going on, just take a pause there. The T is for you to take a breath, or maybe you take a few breaths. And then the O is to observe. And the observing to be done at all different levels, from a physical level, what brought me here, how am I feeling, what am I experiencing, observing you, and doing the best you can to do that without judgment. And that was always my trip up, of when I started doing this, to do it without judgment was really hard, because I would go off in story. And then, so I then start the stop process again. It was just like, okay, so now go back to the beginning. I'm noticing that I'm judging myself on what's coming up for that. And then the P is to proceed. So, can you do something about the situation that you're in, or do you need to accept it? And so that's also going to be a tool for you. And I just remembered I forgot to put some more mindfulness resources into the guide, so I'll be adding and updating those too. And maybe some people already know about Stop and or something similar, or they have their version. And I've had clients who say, "I already have my version. It's not called Stop, Rachel," or "I was doing that. I just didn't do it in that way." But so whatever your version of that is, it's just to help you take a pause. There's a lot of information, a lot happening. There's like some change that you have catalyzed for yourself, and yay, you, amazing. But just taking that pause there. And then just being able to work out what is your intention for being an Entrada member and entering into this courageous journey that you've done. And there's a series of intentions questions there about helping you prioritize, and then to really think deeply about the experiences and then what has happened for you. And I've put it's still got 2022 and 2023 because we're just in the first quarter. We're just at the end of coming into the first quarter of 2023, and so there's still time if you haven't already done it and prepared for your year ahead. And otherwise, this is reflection, or you don't need to do this part because you've already done it. And again, yeah, you. And there's other things that you can reflect on, or even just refining what you put down as your intentions. And then one of the things I invite in the intentions document too is a word or phrase to carry you to help you sustain the energy through 2023. And just the looking and finding the growth opportunities in 2022 for you. And this could even extend, you might even want to extend it out, not just 2022, but just have there been other years. You could overlay this and just do it as other times you've gone through a significant change in your life, whether it's a career or life change, and reflecting on that. So you could take the years out and just open it up a little bit too. But for this worksheet that I put, it was about 2022 and 2023. So now looking forward, and the Clarity tool does this in a year as well, of just projecting to a year. It's like, what has happened over 2023 as you're standing in December and you're looking back? What has happened, and what have you noticed about yourself in terms of growth opportunities? Are there memories that have stood? Are there experiences that have stood? Are there people that you've met that have really made an impact or made change? Or just, have you met a different you yet? Have you bumped into that person? Have you been able to surrender to allowing a new you to come about? And so that's what is also part of this, looking at the intentions. And then also being aware of what was draining in terms of energy, for what didn't work well in 2022, what hasn't worked well in past careers or past areas of your life. And then so just being able to work out, creating some rituals and some practices that are going to help you with what has been energizing for you and that's carried you. And I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with the idea of flow, but it's like where you lose time, and it's this place where it is a timelessness because we're doing something that we love. And so how can you have more of those moments going forward in 2023? And thank you for the little emojis there as well. And so having a look at, as we start to wind down, and the what next small action step. I said at the beginning, I want this membership not just to be about knowledge and community, but also about taking action. So just take a moment right now and just think, even with the speed with which that we went through today, is there one small step that you can consider for yourself until we meet again next week? And that could even just be, I'm going to read through the session guide. I'm going to listen to the replay again. I'm going to go and listen to the rest of that amazing talk of motivational talk by Lisa. It could just be something small, or maybe there's something different. But I just want to start helping you cultivate that action muscle so that you can start doing different and being different and creating different habits. And so that's going to be, habits is going to be a future topic for sure. And so I just want to, in your guide, you'll just see a notice about our session on Zoom next week. So just to let you know, that's where we'll be meeting for our master classmates. And there's also an optional feedback link that I invite you to let me know, how did I do my very first day one launch here? What could I do better? What could I do more of? What could I do less of? And so just letting you know that I am available to you as well. And between Yash and I and the team, that we're going to be here for you. And I'm just going to check if there's any, I don't see any messages coming in of any questions. And I didn't think I would be able to, but I actually kept to my time. I think I was talking pretty fast, but I just want to do a quick check with people and making sure that if just to remind you that if there is anything that you are needing in terms of contact, I just want to do, I'm just going to pop up the last slide here that has, is it going to share it the right way? Okay, let me just see if how I can share this. It's not going to make you go through the whole. Okay, here we go. I can share this way. So this is my contact information here. For those of you who don't have it handy, it is in the guide too. So my email is there, rachel@lifecareerstudio.com, and my website and all my social things. And I will just also let you know that there is, and I'll extend until tonight at 9 o'clock if you would like to become a member of my workshop. Sorry, this is the hard, uncomfortable part, which is asking you to join me. And if you would like more of this and more engagement and more contact with me and our mastermind classmates in the Entrada membership, I encourage you to take advantage of my early bird offer and to be joining along with us and with me. And I hope you've enjoyed this, and I will look forward to seeing you in a month's time. For those of you who I'm not seeing next week, I'll be doing these every month until who knows when. But I hope to have Lisa on and maybe Tom on and some other people. I definitely will be asking some of the people in my wonderful circle and arena of support who help me and where I'm members to come join us and share their knowledge and wisdom too. So thank you again, everyone. My name is Rachel Newton, and I am so excited. Thank you again for being here. Happy launch day, and we'll see you next week for my masterclass members, and we'll see you next month. And subscribe, do all those wonderful things on my YouTube channel. I think the last time I looked, I had 29 people subscribing, so maybe that'll go up a little bit by next month. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Take care. And the recordings will already be on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll be sending them to all our members as well. Take care, everyone. And I look forward to helping you find your Entrada power. Bye.